Namaste. In this video, I'll be telling you about the layers of disease and what the word dis-ease really means. So many of us believe that diseases just kind of come out of the blue and something happens, we just wake up and suddenly we have this disease. But actually, according to Ayurveda, these diseases are actually the final stage of long-term dis-ease between the mind and the body. So disease is actually dis-ease. So where do diseases come from and how can we prevent them? So diseases are basically the final stage of an imbalance that has been going on for a long period of time. So in Ayurveda, we kind of have these layers that are called the koshas. So similar to the doshas, they are called the koshas. And these are different layers of our external body that we may not feel, but actually are all interconnected. So what does that really mean? So we have like our energetic fields, the fields that are outside of us, the things, our intuition, when you're kind of feeling like something's off and you don't really know what it is, you might feel like, oh, I'm just not really feeling as good today, but there's nothing really wrong with your body. So those are the more external layers. Now these diseases, this dis-ease starts on that level, and then it turns into something a little bit more feeling, not physical, but you really feel it like, oh, I feel tired, I feel out of it. Maybe it's like a mental thing going on, just stress or headaches, something like that. And then after that, when you still don't listen to it and you continue with whatever diet and lifestyle has caused this, it turns into something physical. So then suddenly you're feeling, oh, I have this cough, I have this cold, I have this acid, whatever it is, and that's going to depend on your dosha. Then after a period of time, that imbalance is going to spread to other parts of your body. So it may have begun with a cold and you ignore it. After periods of time, it turns into just lethargy on the entire body, feeling sleepy all the time, gaining weight, mucus buildup. All of these things just tend to add on and add on and add on. And then what happens if you continue to not address that, then that's what turns into a disease. Okay, so we have the full ability to prevent any disease by noticing the dis-ease in our energetic field before it turns into a physical imbalance. Okay, so now let me explain to you what diseases each dosha is susceptible to and how you can tell that they are going to happen so you can prevent them based off of balancing that dosha with those specific principles. So Ayurveda really gives us the power to be able to tell exactly what is going on in our body and what to do about it. So I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's begin with Vata. So a Vata manifestation of dis-ease at first might be restlessness, just kind of feeling a little antsy in your chair. You're not really able to focus on one task. You're feeling forgetful all the time. You walk into a room and you kind of forget why you were in there. That sort of foggy feeling is the first stage of a Vata imbalance. So afterwards, it might turn into insomnia. It might be your mind racing all the time. So it can go from forgetfulness to mind racing. It's this imbalance. Vata is like the wind, so it really varies. Sometimes it can be really slow. Sometimes it can be too fast. So feeling out of control mentally, anxious, like your worries are taking control over you, unable to sleep, unable to focus, that is all Vata. So what happens afterwards? After these mental imbalances begin, we begin to feel the physical. So if you're feeling cold all the time, like everyone's feeling okay, but you're just suddenly really cold, that's a sign that your Vata is off balance. And this doesn't mean you are Vata predominant. It just means you can have a Vata imbalance. Now, I started with Vata because it is the dosha that is most likely to fall out of balance. Regardless of what dosha you are, Vata is very likely to fall out of balance because it's always changing. And between all of the seasons shifts, our Vata is very susceptible to falling off balance. So you're feeling cold all the time, you're just freezing, weakness, just not really having the same energy that you used to have, like just really needing to take it easy, fatigue. That's all a Vata physical imbalance. Dryness of the skin. If before your skin was fine and suddenly you're getting dry patches, dryness of the hair, you notice hair loss, you notice that your hair is thinning out, it's becoming very fine in texture, split ends. These are all signs that a Vata imbalance is going on within you. So the next stage, what happens afterwards? After we feel that restlessness, we feel that fog, that fatigue, we start feeling imbalances in our digestive system. So, coldness in the stomach would be constipation, not going to the bathroom regularly, really struggling with going to the bathroom. It's taking a really long time to get moving. You're not going when you first wake up in the morning. That is all a symptom that your vata is off balance. Bloating, everything you eat, you feel bloated, even though you used to not feel that way. Just excess air in the digestive system is vata, as well as gas. Foods just tending to give you gas, having that reaction to everything that you eat. That's a sign that there's excess vata in your system. Now, what happens afterwards? What happens when these digestive issues, the dryness, the coldness continue and we don't follow a vata pacifying diet? Well, what happens next is that coldness kind of enters your skeletal system. So Vata is in charge of all of the skeletal structure. So what happens is osteoporosis, arthritis. These bone density related issues are signs of a long-term Vata imbalance. So you might have a form of arthritis right now. You might have really weak bones. You might be susceptible to your bones breaking. You might just feel cracks and just really, stiff all the time. That's a sign of Vata, and it's very, very important for you to take care of that before it turns into something else. Alzheimer's disease, that is Vata that has really gone to the last stage of true forgetfulness. So with Alzheimer's, it happens in an older age, and as we discussed, Vata is highest in the last stage of your life because your body is cooling down, it's drying off, you get wrinkles in your skin, your hair tends to fall and turn gray. It's the Vata stage of your life, and that's why these Vata related diseases happen in the last part of our lives. But if we have Vata excess in our entire lives, they can happen really at any time. So it's very, very important to not just take this lightly, but really work on pacifying your Vata. And how do you do that? Warming, grounding. Think a warming and grounding diet, cooked foods, root vegetables, spices, avoiding crackers, chips, too many raw foods, too many cold foods, smoothies, ice water, anything that's icy and cold and dry, you want to avoid. You want to supplement it with the opposite, which is moist, oily, damp, thick, things that are really going to give nourishment to your body, healthy fats, good types of protein. That's what your system really needs.